This is the Bestway Steel Pro Max above-ground swimming pool. It's a round, above-ground pool, white in color, with a diameter of 12 feet and almost 40 inches tall. I actually have this pool set up right in my backyard right now, so I want to share my honest and straightforward experience for anyone out there who's considering something like this for summer. To start, one of the real key features here is the design. This is a round steel frame pool with a 3-ply liner. The frame is made of steel tubes and all the pipes are locked together by what best the seal and lock system. Basically, that just means the pipes snap together solidly. You don't need any fancy tools, and once the frame is up, it's reassuringly sturdy. I was a little skeptical at first about how strong the frame would be, but after putting it together myself, I'm impressed. The liner is triple layered. It's basically reinforced PVC and polyester, which feels a lot thicker and more reliable than I expected. When you're just reading specs online like 3-ply liner or Tritech material, it doesn't always mean much, but handling it in person, you really get that it's made to last a few seasons for sure. From my experience, setup was easier than I thought. I had never put up a frame pool before, so I was kind of worried it would take hours and be frustrating. Honestly, it took me about 45 minutes, including laying out the pieces and leveling the ground. You do need 2 people to set it up comfortably, mainly to help with getting the frame into position and making sure the liner is stretched out smoothly. The instructions that come in the box are written clearly with pictures, so for someone new to frame pools, it's totally doable. I'd recommend picking a spot that's as flat as possible for sure. If your yard isn't level, you might want to spend a little extra time prepping to save yourself headaches later. For those not familiar with filter pumps, the pool comes with a basic cartridge filter pump that connects right up to the side walls. The pump moves water through a little filter to help keep it clear. In my opinion, the included pump is okay for smaller pools like this, but you might find yourself wanting to upgrade as the weather gets hotter and your kids, like mine, are in the pool every single day. If you plan on having a lot of people or want super clear water, a stronger pump can make a big difference. But honestly, for casual use, the stock filter gets the job done if you clean it often. As far as day-to-day use, the pool is more spacious than I expected for a family pool. 2 adults and a couple kids can easily float, splash, or even play pool basketball without feeling cramped. I'm 5'6", and when I stand next to it, you really see how tall this thing is, about 40 inches. When I'm inside, the water comes up almost to my chest, so it's deep enough for adults to really get wet and the kids can get some actual swimming in. If you're after a pool that you can stretch out and float in, but don't quite have the yard space for a massive above-ground pool, I think this one is perfect. It's not just the size. The side walls feel solid, even with a bunch of kids running, jumping, and honestly making waves. I had some doubts at first about how it would hold up, but after weeks of daily pool parties and not one leak, rip, or collapse, I'm super impressed. The reinforced liner stands up against all the kicking, splashing, and even the occasional dog jump in. It's definitely a step above those inflatable pools that sometimes only last a month or 2. A lot of people get nervous about draining or cleaning these pools, but the drain valve makes it pretty straightforward. You attach a standard garden hose, open the valve, and you can let the water out wherever you want it to go. Cleanup and putting it away for winter is just a matter of letting it dry out, then folding it up. Though heads up, it's heavy, and if you're doing it alone, it'll take a little muscle. Let's talk aesthetics for a second. The outer shell of the Bestway Steel Pro Max has a subtle stone graphic pattern and a nice blue mosaic print on the inside. I know that doesn't make or break a pool for everyone, but when it's in your backyard all summer, having something that actually looks decent, like not a giant blue plastic eyesore, feels really nice. Now for some honest drawbacks I noticed from my experience. Like I said, the filter pump isn't super powerful. If you let leaves or bugs build up, it might not keep your pool crystal clear, so keeping a little net nearby is a smart move. Also, the ground cover that comes with it is pretty thin. So if your grass is rough or your yard has rocks, you might want to buy or rig up something a bit thicker underneath to protect the liner from little rips or punctures. Another thing to watch for: rust. Even though the frame has a coating to stave off corrosion, I definitely recommend keeping an eye on those metal poles throughout the season. I had a few little rust spots start to show up by the end of summer, so just make sure everything dries out before you pack it up for the winter. Weight is kind of a factor too. The box isn't impossible to move, but at nearly 64 pounds, you'll probably need help if you're moving it any distance or storing it on a shelf in the garage. Once it's set up and filled, you obviously won't be relocating it. That pool stays put until you're ready to empty it. From my experience using it all summer, this pool holds up. Maintenance is mostly just skimming and keeping an eye on the filter, nothing too wild. I think it's perfect for families who want to beat the heat, especially if you have kids who want to swim every day. Even just for adults who want to float around and relax after work. It's surprisingly relaxing to be able to step straight outside for a dip. I'd recommend this for anyone looking for a middle ground between a tiny plastic pool and a gigantic semi-permanent above-ground pool. If you're a family that's not ready to take on the headache or expense of putting in an actual in-ground pool, but you still want something you can really enjoy and swim in, the Steel Pro Max is a great fit. The price is fair for the size and durability, especially considering you get the frame, liner, and pump all included. In conclusion, my quick review is if you have the space and want an upgrade from a kiddie pool, this is absolutely worth considering for your backyard. Sure, there are a few little things you might want to upgrade or watch out for, but the ease of setup, the sturdy design, and the overall swimming experience totally outweigh any minor gripes. If you treat it right, dry it properly in the off-season, and maybe invest in a stronger filter down the road, I really think it'll last for years. If you still have any questions, want to know specific details, or just want to share your experience if you already have this pool, drop a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more honest reviews and backyard tips. Thank you for watching.